Okay, guys, we have a lot of ground to cover, a lot of corrections to be made. This is um, the rest of the premiere of Greenleaf. So let's get into this, okay?
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie?
All right. So, like I said, a lot of ground to cover and a lot of things to correct. Let's go back through the cast, okay? Because I had a lot of this stuff. It wasn't right. So, I was going to actually just delete the first video and then redo it, but I don't need to do all that. We're just going to clear it up right here. The cast you got, there are the McQueens, okay? The McQueens are brothers and sisters. There's Mac McQueen, which is Chester Molester, Mavis McQueen, which is Oprah, who's the bar owner, and then you have May McQueen, which is actually Mrs. Greenleaf. Okay, those three are brothers and sisters. May's husband is Mr. Greenleaf. That's where the Greenleaf name comes in at. I still, for some reason, think that the actual money was McQueen money originally. That's just my feeling because May is first lady, but she sure do got a whole lot of pull, and when she talk, people listen. So we're gonna keep on watching that. Okay, I kept calling her Cece, but her name is Gigi Gloria. Grace, not Gloria. Grace. Gigi is the main character, not Cece. Okay, and like I said, there is one brother, and his name is not Matt. It's Jacob. It's Jacob. So there's all the corrections. They were down there in my comments. So thank y'all. You know we work together. It is what it is. It was so much shit. I was watching it so late at night. It is what it is. So let's move on because it's two episodes together, and I'm not doing two separate videos. I'm ready to roll right on through here through episode 2 and 3 because no need in doing all that. Okay, so the first thing we actually deal with is that Mavis McQueen actually gave Gigi proof the proof and documentation of the claims that were made against Mac by the 15-year-old girl. Her name is Danielle. So throughout the program, we end up seeing Gigi actually go out there. She ended up talking to Noah, and Noah kind of seemed as though he knew a little something, but he wouldn't really lead on because he's head of security on the grounds, on the Greenleaf grounds, and he didn't say a whole lot. But she knows she can work him because they got that little pass that they got, and there's something between them that just is kind of underlined. We'll talk about that a little bit, but she ends up talking to him, and she's just going through it. She's steadily gathering things. Um, then there's this whole little situation with the one cop. There's a cop who actually shot a teenager, and he's been reaching out to the Greenleaf Church, which is Calvary Fellowship, for help. And there's a whole little situation where, see, now he's like box office poison. They don't want to have nothing to do with him because that just ain't a good look. But see, that ain't what church is supposed to be about. See, in real life, churches do that. Policemen, ball players, people like that that have these large incomes, they want them in their churches because of the tithes. That 10%. Mm-hmm. And whenever they're paying it in, it's all good. But now he got an issue and needs the church to stand behind him for character, witnesses, and whatever and all that. They don't want to touch it. So they've been just ignoring his calls and not even returning his calls or responding to him or in any type of way. And there was a message on Grace's phone, an old message. So she ended up reaching out to him. And her and him actually talked. He gave her some background about, his time with the church and all of that. And so they're going to help each other. because Grace ain't letting it go. Grace is going to go after Mac's ass. So that's just that. Okay, so later on we actually see Mr. Greenleaf, Pastor Greenleaf, makes Jacob the head of the usher, the head of the deacon board. He was kind of hesitant. He's like, you know, them deacons, they don't respect me. Which deacons are like that because they're usually old. They're old and they really want to be the preacher for the most part. So for him to be his son, and the son is a younger preacher, there's that little thing there. You know, they're prima donnas. Deacons are. Deacons are prima donnas. Deacon, it falls pastor, first lady, deacons, and then the mothers of the church, prima donnas. Yeah, I said it. Anyway, moving on. So he wasn't really trying to fill all that. But Calissa, that wife, you know, she's running it. She's like, just take it and say thank you. You know, he basically dances to her music. She literally controls him, and he literally just laughs at her. He does. He laughs at her. I don't know if he loves her or doesn't love her. I think he's just in a situation and their kids and whatever. He's just stuck with her old stinking ass, and he just laughs at her. The only thing that make him happy is fucking that white bitch. And don't take no offense to it. Y'all know I don't live in color. That's just the thing. That's what she is in the program. Because that's what they're gonna call her when it's all found. They're gonna call her a white bitch, which is terrible. But that's what they're gonna do. Anyway, but that's the only thing that makes him happy is Becky with the good hair, honey. Whatever. It is what it is. Y'all go on and marry her. Get rid of Calissa all nasty ass because she is nasty. Anyhow, so we found out that Gigi actually did turn down the job at 2020, and they've literally moved there. And the little girl ain't happy about her daughter. She's not happy about it. And her daddy wasn't really happy either. She actually was saying, her dad, she really wanted to live with her dad, but whatever, she gonna roll with her brother through, but she really would like to live with her dad. She's running into some issues. Basically, she's like, it's not more than just a new girl thing, because now she's at this school, and she's like this high yellow, straight haired girl, and there's like all these little brown girls. And she summed it up best when she said, I went from being the only black girl in an all white school to being the only white girl in an all black school. And I said, yeah, I see that. I see that. Because they, even like their little slang and stuff, they were like, girl, why don't you know what we talking about? That kind of thing. So I'm like, all right, poor little thing. But that's her. But she's making her way of getting around and taking care of things because she's learning to be a good get high bitch, following behind her aunt, which is that youngest Greenleaf girl. She's a good get high ass. So, they got that whole little thing going on. And all throughout the program, we start seeing her more and more leading her down this bad road. That little girl, the youngest Greenleaf girl, she got shit with her. A lot of shit with her. But whatever, we'll see more of that, I'm sure. There was even a scene where Faith, they were up in Faith's room. They put all Faith's thing into one room. And they ended up snooping through and going through that. And that's the thing, is that Gigi's daughter is learning more and more about Faith and listening to old tapes of Faith talking and different things like that. Faith seems to have had the most normal sense of everybody else. She talks with good sense, and she was real. The two of them, Gigi and Faith, were cut from a different cloth than the rest of those Greenleaf children. They were deep and wise, is what I'm actually seeing about Grace and Faith. Seriously. And I think the younger two are just that. They're just young, and I swear them to. I want to get to the bottom of that. I swear Faith and Grace don't belong to Mr. Greenleaf. I'm ready. I'm willing to bet money on it that the two of them do not belong to him. That them two last little fuck ups, that Jacob and that Charity. actually belongs to him. And now that I'm speaking of Charity, Child Charity is just as clueless, honey, that her husband is having some issues, baby. He is battling with his sexuality, some kind of fierce. You hear me? He keep running into a problem. He's doing this whole outreach program with this homeless shelter and all that, honey, and the little white guy that's running that baby is all up in his neck, baby, and he's noticing it and not really running away from it, but noticing it. Then there's a scene, him and Charity. She wants to have a baby. He really don't want to have that motherfucking baby with her. He don't. She was all up on him. He couldn't even get it hard, honey. He was like, "Child, take your ass away from here." But he's trying to do what it is that he's supposed to be doing, but he's having some inner struggles, okay? And Charity, she's just clueless. She don't even catch it. She don't catch it at all. So they went out to a karaoke bar. Charlie got clocked by the queens in the karaoke bar. He's in there singing to her, honey, and next thing you know, there's like these two little queens sitting on the side, baby. They just sent them a drink. Now see, them bitches is out of order. But they sent him and his wife a drink. And one little black queen, she over there grinning and smiling with her little swoop bang. I said, girl, you doing way too much. How's you going to send a married man? And you don't know if he's married, but you see the man over there with that woman. How you going to send him a drink, you old disrespectful bitch? I was like, oh my gosh, honey. She need a punch in her face, but whatever. But he's been clocked. And Charity says, gay men, no good singing. We know good singing, but we also know when somebody coming for our man, you dumb bitch. She's sitting there all stupid. I said, Lord have mercy. Then they go and they end up taking a pregnancy test and her ass, she didn't got pregnant. So that's going to be an issue. You can see him with the worry all over his face. He don't want that baby. Don't want her. But whatever. Like I said, so that's going on with him with Kevin. That's a mess. Let's see what else. There's an ongoing problem with the Senator Banks' office, and they are wanting to. There's inquiries about the finances of Calvary Fellowship. They want to know if that 501c3 is being used improperly for the benefit of the Greenleaf family, which it is. And Pastor Greenleaf is giving them very much of, the Lord this and the Lord that, playing them off, but they ain't going for the bullshit. So that's an ongoing thing as well. Also, May has a whole issue with the fact that Gigi is back. Gigi is basically been made a pastor for the Greenleaf Church. She's like associate pastor, and May ain't happy, and she has made it very, very known to her husband that she feels as though it is a mistake. And what ended up happening, there was a scene where a woman came, and they have I forget what they call the little group, but there's a group of folks who pay as like over 10, I think it's like over $10,000 a month tithing, and they're in this specific little round table group. And this woman wanted a baptism done. The father's not involved, the mother's not involved, but she wants this baby baptized. So they sent her to talk to Mrs. Wilcox. They sent Miss Wilcox to talk to Grace. So Gigi's talking to her, and Gigi's going through the regular procedures, and she's like, well, wait a minute. Don't you want to wait until your daughter comes? She said your daughter's out of town. Don't you want to wait till your daughter comes back in town? No, I don't. Maybe I need to talk to your father, some of that old shit. And Grace was like, you know what, whatever. Let's just do it. So she's actually seeing that she's corrected. The church is corrupted. It's really all about money. Because that's all it is. It's about money. It's an office. It's a building. They have an office building, literally. And they got offices and secretaries and all of this, accountants and all of that. You should have all those things. But really, you have a separate office. Like, it looked like the Empire offices. I was waiting to see Cookie and Lucius walk around the corner at some point. Child. And then the little child that Jacob is screwing is the executive secretary to Mr. Greenleaf. I don't know why Jacob's fooling with her, because that's going to all come back to bite him in the ass. Because whenever he pisses her off, she gonna take them all down. But that's again. Let's see. Look at me rewrite the series. But if I was writing, that's how it would go. But anyway, they need to be cautious of her. But anyway, so they got all of that going on. Grace ended up saying, "Fine, I'll do the baptism. I'm not going to argue and fight about no baptism. We're gonna go ahead and do it." You know, I mean, everything is just so commercial with Calvary Fellowship, and Gigi's just like shaking her head. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. But everything's very commercial. Nothing is very led by God at all. Everything is really money driven, which is church. It's a business. Anyway, so they go ahead and they do all of that. Um, and Mr. Greenleaf ain't shit. Pastor Greenleaf ain't shit. He know how to get the money. He know the right things to say and who to say them to. He's a perfect preacher. He ain't shit. He got the, and then Gigi's secretary is this old broad. He just flirts with her. Just flirt with her, flirt with her, flirt with her. I said, child, if you don't leave Darlene alone, honey. And she, oh, Pastor, I said, look at her, child. He ain't gonna give you none of that meat, honey. Not at all. So you could just stop it. You could just stop. She probably one of the mothers of the church too. Just a mess. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I don't want to forget anything. Noah. Let's talk about Noah. Okay, so some of the background with Noah and Gigi. Um, Pastor Greenleaf had something to do with the separation of Gigi and Noah and Gigi going on off. But she was gone for 20 years. She's gone for 20 years. And I believe Noah and Gigi was getting a little bit too deep. And, other opportunities were given to Gigi, but Gigi just stayed gone. Once she got out of there, she just stayed gone. And there's more to be told because he apologized to her about his stance whenever she left. So he must have been mean, must have took a mean tone, and that's when you found out that him and Isabel actually, that was a long distance relationship, and then she agreed to move on up there with her good Christian, tight, no fucking in the pussy, dick sucking ass, old Isabel, honey. Christian mingle. Anyway, but Noah loves Gigi, and you can see it. You can't even miss it. And Isabel knows that Noah loves Gigi too. Because Isabel, I'm not liking Isabel because she's in full on competition. There's an air of competition. Noah asked Gigi to come out to dinner with them and said it was Isabel's idea. I don't believe it actually was. I believe it was Noah's idea to try to let Isabel know you don't have to worry about Gigi. There's nothing between us. We're just friends, and I work for them. But that's just some bullshit, baby. You want her, and I can understand it because she. I just watched her as she goes through this program. The girl who actually plays Gigi, she's a beautiful girl. She really is. She's beautiful. She's just a statuesque. She just has a thing about her. It's just something about her that is just so alluring. And y'all know I don't even like women all like that. But there's just something about her. She's not overly good. She's not goody two shoes. I don't think she's a backstabbing sideways bitch or nothing like that. She just has a thing about her. She's just a bad bitch. That's just all there is to it. She really is. So I can understand. I understand why Isabel feels the way she does, because she ain't no bad bitch. She cute. She's a very cute girl. But you playing games and sucking dick and carrying on, child. And you could tell right away, whenever Noah's in Gigi's presence, you can see he aches for her, honey. He aches for her. So I know little stuff be just tingling every time she come around. But anyway, then I saw, and the other one that knows about that aching and longing he has for Gigi is that goddamn May. And May rolled up on him and asked him, well, first she lured him in, saying that she had an idea she wanted to pay for the wedding. and have the wedding right on the grounds because him and his family has been so good to the Greenleaf family. She led through all that. He's like, oh, well, I'm sure Isabel will be happy and thank you so much. I don't know how to thank you, blah, 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 blah. First he said, I can't even accept. She wasn't taking no for an answer. Then, and she wants to control everything too. But she gonna spend whatever kind of money she can to keep his ass away from Gigi. She want Gigi to go away. Go the fuck away. And maybe she thinks if, once the wedding happens and everything, she can push that through, hurry up. Gigi's feelings will get hurt. She'll go to fuck all about her business. But she rolled right up in on him and let him know that, we're really close, this, that, and the other. And if Gigi comes towards you, asking you questions or saying things or doing anything out of the ordinary, you will report it back to me, won't you? And he's like, oh, yeah. He ain't gonna tell you shit, bitch. And you need to know that he ain't gonna tell you a goddamn thing about his precious Gigi. Now you need to go on about your business. Carissa and May don't really get along because Carissa wants to be May. Okay, so that's part of that problem, and she don't know her place when it comes to being a daughter-in-law. That bitch is too motherfucking much. She'll know her place. And you see the banter back and forth between her and May, and I fucking love it. Them two bitches was just going at it. They had a whole dynasty moment over some damn salmon. I said, y'all, I was just as tickled, but she don't know her place. And May ended up telling her, she said, girl, strength like yours is best used in stillness, dear. I said, oh. Back off, bitch. That's the church way of saying back off, bitch, for I get your ass, honey. A mess. So, all of that was cool. They did a church lock-in and sent the kids to the church lock-in. And like I said, we got to see flat out that the youngest Greenleaf girl is literally going to turn Gigi's daughter into a fucking junkie if they don't get hold of her soon. Just a mess. Last thing that I do want to talk about, a little bit more about Danielle. Grace went out to the house. She went on out to the house after she spoke with the policeman and all that, and they had some little talk. She went on out to the house and she met Danielle's mother. And the mother was given, get away from my family. We had an agreement. Get out of here. Go away. Nothing happened. It was all that. It became very evident that a payoff had taken place. Some type of a payoff had taken place. And after Gigi left, the mother ended up calling Mac directly and told him, stay away from my family. I don't want none of this problem. We had an agreement and all of this. And he's sitting there and he was going through all his bullshit. And then he goes and he contacts Mavis and gets to threatening Mavis and telling her about the loss of her club. He could get in touch with the folks downtown and make sure she loses the land and all of this here that her club is on and all of that if she doesn't tell Gigi to back off. Because of course they know, Gigi's his niece. Gigi and Gigi's his and Mavis's niece. And he knew where the problems were coming from. And he knew where the information was being bled to him. And Mavis led on that May, Mac, and her parents were absolutely fuck-ups. And they screwed them up. And I can't wait to hear more about that and the things that had gone down in their lifetime. But their parents weren't no good. And she was saying, they did things to all of us. But I would love to know, did daddy do something to you? Or somebody who did something to you? It's one thing to be sick. It's another not to get help and then take your pain and give it to other people. And that's where your problem is. And this time you're not going to get away with it. I said, come on, Mavis, bitch. That motherfucking Oprah. Oprah, you miss Sophie. You miss Sophie all the time, girl. I said, come on through, Oprah. So, yeah, that was deep. That was deep. And he went out there laughing and kee-heeing. He's a motherfucker. Chester the molester is something else. He run around molesting folks and getting away with it. And then he's very arrogant. And that's what she had told him too. You're so arrogant with it. You know what I mean? Just getting away with you're not gonna get away with it this time. I said he sure don't need to. Somebody need to get his ass and fuck his ass on that patty and stop this mess. But yeah, when Gigi ended up after she talked to the mother and all that, she ended up talking to Danielle, and Gigi got a sense of it right there that the girl's been brainwashed. The girl first she was really strong with it, but by the end of the conversation, she said it was my fault. You know, first she said, "No, I never been nowhere with him. No, I ain't never did this study." By the time they got done talking, she said it was my fault. You know, this that and she was covering something up, and Gigi got it. Gigi gonna get him. Gigi gonna get his ass, and I am so here for it. But yeah, there's a payoff, and that baby been brainwashed. All that goddamn shady ass church shit. A mess. Child, I love this little program. This little program is the deal. You hear me? I don't know what, child. I'm gonna be a mess on Tuesdays between this and the have nots. Oh, yes, God, Eddie. Anyway, so that's it. So we're on board. We're going forward. Greenleaf. Good shit. Good shit. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all next Tuesday. We'll be back on schedule. It'll be one episode each Tuesday. And I believe they're 10 o'clock. Because I think have nots going to be 9 and they're going to be 10. So, yeah. Let's get to this. I like this here. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.